Today we are at Pearl Harbor National something. I don't know. We're just walking around. We already had our food, and it's just a few minutes before we get on our ride. Let's take a look around. of a sunken shipwreck known as the Arizona.
For your safety, life jackets will be located under your seats. Children's life jackets will be located under the handicap seats. Thank you. We'll begin underway shortly.
The Japanese Empire would sign the Declaration of Surrender on at the end of World War II. So in a single photo, you get to see the beginning as well as the end of the United States intervention within World War II. Once again, please remain seated as the boat backs up into position. Now, additionally, you may notice that the flag is at half-mast. Many people have been asking if the flag is at half-mast always because it's over the memorial. That is not the case. It is currently at half-mast because of the death of former President Jimmy Carter. However, with it being over the memorial, obviously it adds more symbolism since this is the final resting place of over 1,000 sailors and Marines. Also gives you a chance to get a photo that not many people get to take, because even when we do give people this opportunity, the flag is usually at full mast.
And
now you may notice a few things about the design of the Arizona Memorial. You may notice that there's a dip in the middle before it rises up on either side. That has symbolism as well. You see the highest point towards the front was the United States of America prior to World War II. Then it dips down into the lowest point, which is meant to symbolize the attack on Pearl Harbor, the largest loss of life for naval personnel in a single attack. That's the lowest point in American history throughout World War II. And then it rises up again at the end, where it shows the end of the war, where we were able to finally return. This is the shrine room at the very back. You see the little design on the window. That's meant to replicate the Tree of Life. You may notice that there's 7 windows on each side, rolled at the top, and that is meant to memorialize the 21-gun salute, which is commonly played at the funeral of a service member after they pass. Now, as we make our way back over to the National Park, I will share a quick story as well about a sailor who, because of his actions, received the highest decoration that a United States service member can receive, which is the Congressional Medal of Honor. Now, as many of you know, the attack on Pearl Harbor was a very devastating attack. Over 100 ships were in the harbor that day, many of which were sunk and destroyed. One ship that was damaged but wasn't quite sunk was the USS Nevada. And you may know that the Nevada was the only ship that day that was able to get underway during the time of the attack, but you may not know the reason why. The reason why is because of a man named Donald P. Ross. Now, Donald P. Ross was stationed in the boiler room that day on the Nevada, and as soon as the attack began, his immediate response was to ensure the safety of his fellow shipmates and to do his job to the best of his ability. When the captain gave the order for the Nevada to attempt to get underway out into the open ocean, he put all of his shipmates and junior sailors out of the boiler room, sealed himself inside, and began manning the boiler room by himself. However, as soon as the Nevada would begin taking fire, many noxious fumes and chemicals would fill the boiler room, which would cause Donald Ross to pass out. His junior sailors sitting right outside the door would realize that he was unresponsive and would drag him out and begin rendering first aid. As soon as he regained consciousness, he would jump right back into the boiler room and continue resuming his duties. That would be until he would pass out again due to the noxious fumes and chemicals. His sailors would once again pull him out, but that as soon as he was resuscitated, he would go right back into the boiler room and continue doing his job until the Nevada was beached over at Hospital Point, which is past where all those cranes are at the shipyard. Afterwards, the captain of Nevada would order his men to get off the ship and receive medical treatment, as the Nevada received heavy fire and many sailors lost their lives or were wounded. However, Donald P. Ross, despite inhaling many serious chemicals and receiving much damage to his respiratory system, would refuse medical care, saying that others needed it more than him. And he would go and grab people who were wounded below the deck of the Nevada, bring them up top and off the ship, that way they could receive medical care. Only after he was confident that all other shipmates received the care that they needed would he receive his own care. Because of his actions in putting others above himself, he would receive the Constitutional Medal of Honor, or the Congressional Medal of Honor, which is the highest decoration that a United States service member could receive, even by today's standards. There were many acts of heroism. Because of the many acts of heroism of other sailors, over 16 medals of honor were awarded for sailors and their actions on December 7, 1941. The reason I share the story of Donald K. Ross is because every single tour boat we'll go on, going to and from the memorial, is named after a Medal of Honor recipient. You see, that one is named after Peter Tomich, who was a chief water render on board the USS Utah. This one right specifically is named the Donald K. Ross, which is why I share his story with you. Please remain seated as we get the ramps in place and the boat tied up. As soon as the boat is tied up, you will be able to exit and make your way across the bridge and to the left back around the building. Thank you for coming out and pay your respects to the crew of the USS Arizona. Please make sure you gather all your trash or belongings before you exit the boat. We'll get you on your way as soon as we can.